Okay, worldlet, this is a second video, and I just want to explain how you're going to do the context lesson, which is every even number lesson, instead of having analogies, you'll have a context lesson. And the first page that's attached to lesson 2 kind of explains how you do the how you read the context clues. So over on the right-hand margin of the page, it actually says page 141. Over on the right-hand side column, it tells you the different types of context clues, how authors can give you clues to meanings of words that you might not know right in the context, okay? And there are actually 10 of them, all right? And so I just want to point those out very quickly. The first one you see is restating the word, giving it another, or saying it in another way. And there are words within the context that give you a clue to that. For instance, it says, in other words, okay? So you don't know what the word sovereign means, but then right after it, it says, in other words, and it gives you another way of explaining what the word sovereign means, okay? Another way to provide a context clue is to give you an example of the word. So jurisdiction, they give you an example of what jurisdiction is, all right? That's another context clue. And you can see then on the left-hand side, in italics, it shows you that context clue, all right, in the article, within the article. All right, so another way, the third way, they possibly could give you a summary that would depict what the meaning of the word is. Okay, like it does, it tells you what made the Trail of Tears infamous. It gives you kind of a summary of what the Trail of Tears was. And the fourth one on page 141 is by contrast. You figure out, you're given a hint of what a word means by showing you a contrast, or by showing you what it's not, okay? There are key words in there that, help you, like the word however, okay? That's a dead giveaway. You're looking at a contrast. Okay. Turn the page to page 142 on the right-hand side. Sometimes the meaning of the word is in the sentence prior to the word. And so it'll define it, and then it'll give you the vocab word. It said many people who live in states without large American Indian populations mistakenly believe that the tribes in Oklahoma live on large federal reservations. This fallacy, so mistaken belief, that's synonymous with fallacy. This fallacy, so this idea, this mistaken belief, okay? So sometimes, like I said, you'll get the definition first and then the word. Sometimes a correlative conjunction like either or will set up a contrast to help you understand a meaning. That's what the second one on 142 is all about. An appositive can provide a clue. Sometimes they'll give you, if the word is a noun, they'll give you another noun right after it that renames that vocab word. The word that renames is the appositive. So you see the word remains a priority. And then right after it is the appositive, the number one concern. Well, number one concern is another way of saying priority, okay? So that's an appositive. We could use an appositive in the context to give you a clue to a word. Sometimes we could set up a cause and effect. The author will set up a cause and effect and use the word because. Once again, there are just certain words that are clue words that are going to help you figure out what a word means that you might not know. Sometimes you'll get a bunch of examples, like a kind of like a laundry list of examples, and then the category. So you'll get a bunch of examples and then the category. And that's what we find with the word garb. We get a bunch of examples beforehand. Jewelry, headpieces, shawls, leggings are the traditional garb. So we kind of have a list of examples and then the word, okay, to help you understand what garb means. And finally, the last one, which this is a dead giveaway. If the author uses a metaphor or a simile, some sort of figurative language, that's meant to help you figure out what a word means. Okay, that's what figurative language is meant to do. It's to help you experience something that you might not have experienced before. Well, they compare it, the poet or the author compares it to something you might have experienced before. It's the whole purpose of figurative language. And so you can bet that you will be asked about it then later on in the lesson. So let me grab my lesson here and show you. So I told you page 9 and 10, if you're working on this, that's a total of 20 points. Well, then you read the article, and exercise 1 is 20 more points. So you're up to 40 on this lesson already. All you do for 1 through 20 on exercise 1 is put a synonym for the word. And just look on your lesson for a synonym for the word. Now, if the word is from lesson 1, which the even lessons review the lesson before, okay? If you can remember, great. Otherwise, use context clues, okay? And write a synonym, okay? It doesn't have to be the full definition, just one synonym, okay? So we're up to 40 points. Then in exercise 2, you're going to have a question about how the context helped you figure out what the word meant, okay? They're going to ask you what the author used, okay, to help you figure out what that word meant, okay? So here's what I do with mine, and I would encourage you to do with yours. This copy of the lesson is yours. So as you can see, I mark it up, okay? I tried to outguess what they're going to ask me about the article. So I've underlined things and I put opposite. They show me what it means by contrast. I see an appositive, so I note, okay, they used an appositive, okay? I note different ways that they use the context to help me, okay? So after you finish those 20, then you've accomplished the 60 points that this is worth, okay? All right, I hope this helps you out, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye now.